Hello everyone, I'm Carol James, Assistant Professor at St. Joseph's College of Law, Bangalore. You all might have heard of the Israel Palestine crisis or the Russia Ukraine war, but have you ever wondered what laws govern these conflicts? What frameworks ensure accountability and protection for those affected during war? Today, we're going to decode and simplify the origins of the three powerhouse legal fields which govern the laws during situations of war. They are the international humanitarian law, the international human rights law, and the international criminal law. We will be looking into each of this topic. Firstly, let's kick things off with the international humanitarian law. It is commonly called the law of war. The international humanitarian law is the law that ensures that even during conflicts or wars, certain regulations are to be followed. This law is exclusively applicable only during situations of war. We need to know a few key words here. Who is a civilian? Civilian are people who are common man. And who is a military? People belonging to the armed forces. So IHL is founded on three principles. Firstly, principle of distinction. It is necessary to differentiate between who is a civilian and a military objective. Secondly, the principle of proportionality. Necessary that all military actions are supposed to be proportionate to the intended military advantage. Thirdly, principle of necessity. Any kind of force or action is only when necessary to achieve legitimate military objectives, like calling in the big guns for a serious emergency. Now moving into the historical context, the evolution of IHL is marked by significant milestones which can be broadly classified into two categories: pre-World War II and post-World War II. Pre-World War II, we had the Hague Convention, 1899 and 1907. These were a set of codified rules that set the stage for how to play nice during wartime, including how to treat the prisoners who were captured. Post-World War II developments, it led to the establishment of the Geneva Conventions 1949. These were a set of 4 conventions and they expanded the scope of protection of war victims, including the wounded and the shipwrecked. IHL remains very crucial in today's modern day conflicts. We would be having a separate video on the applicability of international humanitarian law in today's modern day conflict with a contemporary case study, and this will be uploaded subsequently. Next, let's pivot to the next segment of international human rights law. So, IHRL, the superhero of individual rights, swooping in to protect freedom at all times. The international human rights law, unlike the humanitarian law, applies at all time regardless of situations of war or conflict. Key instruments include the Universal Declaration of Human Rights 1948. IHRL stands tall on two key principles here. Firstly, universality. Human rights apply to all people everywhere, no matter what. Secondly, non-discrimination. Rights are for everyone, guaranteed without discrimination. Lastly, we have the international criminal law here. Don't we need an enforcement mechanism to hold individuals accountable for serious crimes and violations of these laws? The historical context of ICL is important to understand here. ICL got its grooves on during key events that happened around the world. The notable incidents are the Nuremberg trial of 1945 to 1946 in Germany. This was a landmark trial that held the Nazi leaders liable for their actions around the world. And this trial led to defining what is a war crime. Secondly, instances of genocide and crime against humanity occurred in Rwanda and Yugoslavia. This led to the establishment of tribunals in Rwanda and Yugoslavia. However, these tribunals could only prosecute criminals in the respective areas where they had jurisdiction. Hence, we feel the need to have a common statute around the world to ensure that all individuals are responsible. Thus, the Rome Statute 1998 was established. This beauty created International Criminal Court. Now that is the ultimate courtroom for serious offenders globally. Now looking into the interconnection of the fields. These three fields are like best friends in the legal world. IHL and IHRL both protect human dignity, while ICL ensures accountability of individuals for their violation. In conclusion, the genesis of Human rights law, humanitarian law, and criminal law reflects a collective commitment to uphold human dignity. As future legal professionals, understanding these frameworks is essential to champion justice in a world that often feels like a legal circus. So, thank you. If you liked the video, we request you all to kindly like, share, and subscribe.